Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Pageants and Tangents, where we will be talking about our pageant wish list for 2026.
Welcome to the Pageants and Tangents podcast.
All right, welcome back, guys. First things first, we should note that Hayley has not just dyed her hair and had a face transplant. It's not one of those old movie, Nicolas Cage movie, Face Off, where Nicolas Cage and John Travolta swap faces. But we should go to our special guest who's subbing in for Hayley, who has a migraine, unfortunately. So our special sub-in guest is Geanna. I can't pronounce your surname. I should have asked that. I'm sorry. Geanna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Geanna Koulouris, and I'm a current title holder. I currently hold the title of Miss Long Island 2026.
Perfect. All right. Do you want to tell everyone how you know Hayley?
Oh yeah, so me and Hayley actually competed together last year on Pretty Down to Earth. So we were at Miss Earth USA in January, and then did the whole Pretty Down to Earth filming in May in Syracuse. Got really close and bonded over that, so that was fun. And then she of course went on to win in July, and then she went to Miss Earth, and we've been keeping up ever since. We have lots of FaceTime calls, so close enough of a stand-in.
We'll take it. What was your first impression of Hayley when you met her?
I was like, is she gonna talk to me? I was scared. I was like, oh my God. I was getting nervous going into pageants. So I was glad that she ended up being really chill. We kind of clicked as soon as we started talking. We didn't really talk as much till after the actual pageant in January, leading into Pretty Down to Earth. But we have spent many phone calls since. We were kind of like a bonded pair once we went through the whole situation.
Yeah, how long ago was the filming for Pretty Down to Earth now? It was about a year, isn't it?
About May of last year.
May, right, okay.
Yeah.
My brain and timelines with your guys' pageant is all over the place. Because of the way you guys did it, Hayley's reign ended up only being 4 months or something like that, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super short.
She had May to January, or no, sorry, July to January, which is nothing.
In any case, they had the next iteration of Miss Earth USA whilst we were off air. And so Hayley handed over a title. I'll need to ask her about that next episode. But she handed over to her good friend, Gia Espinoza. So I was very happy to see that. So there was a bit of good news to start the new year. But Geanna, thank you for coming on and subbing on. I know you only got 2 hours notice, and I know we have already subjected you to our particular brand of craziness. It took us about 38 minutes to get recording. So we're going to try and make up for some lost time. But welcome to the show. Hope we haven't scared you off too much. Speaking of scaring people off, Morgan, how are you? What's been happening?
Hi. Well, on the 15th, get it right, Morgan, I celebrated my 10-year wedding anniversary. I got married very young. I'm not that old, okay? I'm only 32. I got married at 22, but we had our 10-year wedding anniversary. And that's it. We got a bunch of baddies jumping on the New Year, New Me train, which I love because holidays are over, so everyone gets a little time to reset and refocus and dive in fresh. So we're gearing up now for state and national season.
Right. Okay. Yep. What did you guys do for your 10-year?
We did a little staycation, but an awaycation. We went out. We live in Charleston, South Carolina, but we went out to Kiowa, South Carolina, actually, and spent a little time together. So it's it's a bougie private beach community. It's about an hour away from here. So we did a little getaway staycation, and then our big anniversary trip that we're doing is actually going to be at the end of this month. We're going to New Orleans. I'm going to a ball, baby.
A very fun one. I'm very jealous.
I get to wear a dress.
Well, I mean, these two get to wear dresses all the time.
I should have brought them in here. Oh, I can't go away and get them, can I? Y'all, I got red bottoms for my anniversary gift. They're the prettiest things I've ever seen in my life.
I need to see them. Adrian, I've got to see them.
Yeah, go get them. Whilst you go get them, I'll get Peyton to catch us up with what she's been doing since we were last on. All right, Peyton, go.
Okay. I hit 6 months as Miss Georgia Volunteer, which is really bittersweet. I didn't think I was gonna get all misty-eyed over it and making the post that I did the other day, but I did. I put together a bunch of clips of so far
Peyton,
in the
you
6
cry
months.
all the time.
I know. I can't help it. I don't know. I'm
I
just
know.
a very emotional person.
I know. So stop thinking that you're not going to cry. You cry at the drop of a hat.
I know, but I try not to because my entire family's not really emotional people, but
Good.
I definitely am.
Cry when you see my
Bridges.
shoes.
All right,
Let me
let's see.
see. Ooh,
You guys.
Stunning.
not the
I'm sorry, Cinderella
hollow.
story.
I'm jealous.
Perfect. They're so sparkly when the light hits. Like,
Can I borrow those for nationals?
they're a 7. What size are you?
I can do that.
She's like, I'll make it work. I'll make it work. So these were my perfect little.
I love them.
Yeah, he did
Bobby.
good.
I feel like
Yeah.
I need to now go and get my pair of red shoes because I have a pair of red velour shoes that also I think have a red. No, they don't have red bottoms, but they're red velour shoes, and I only ever wear them to pageants because
You need
they
red
try to
bottoms.
kill me.
You need Louboutins.
Get some
Mhm.
loops. You need some Louboutins.
Oh my
You be fancy boy. We can match
Do
the
it.
pageant. Josh has
Yes, you
red
guys
bottom
come.
designer
I'll bring
shoes.
mine, and we'll all take a cute little red bottom.
Hang on, I know this is terrible to us, but do Louboutins even make like for men? I thought they're only women's.
Yes, my
Josh
uncle has a pair.
dress shoes. Yeah.
Dare I ask? I know this is in bad mannerisms. How much would a pair of those for men set me back?
If
A
you
band.
get the top
Mhm.
5, I think his were 1,095.
That's actually not as bad as I was thinking. It's not cheap by the
And they
way.
put a little like clear protector on the bottom so the red doesn't wear off as bad anymore because he just got a pair from them to wear to
Wow.
the ball.
All right.
Not great.
Pageants is so expensive. You're not even in pageant. Pageantry is like the most expensive hobby that anyone can take up.
It
And it
definitely
doesn't
are.
pay well. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. It doesn't
Why
pay
did we
well.
do this to ourselves?
I know it's your fault. I have no sympathy for any of you, Peyton. So apart from bowling over the entire festive period, anytime you did anything else you want to catch us up on?
Yes. I don't know if you guys saw. I know you didn't, Adrian, but I don't know if you guys saw in the weather. But good old Frosty the Snowman is coming for us. And one thing about Georgia, we don't do that. Nobody can drive. Morgan, I know you can sympathize because I'm sure it's the same in South Carolina. Nobody can drive. Everything breaks. It's life or death over here. The last time we had a storm this bad was in 2012, something like that. And we brushed it off as we always do, as Georgians always do. We think, yeah, if we get a flurry, that'll be like amazing, but it's never going to happen. And we ended up with like a foot of snow or something like that in 2012, but it didn't hit until 12, like lunchtime. And so we had all gone to school and gone to work and like gone about our day, not believing the weatherman. And it hit, and it took my mom 3 hours to get 10 minutes down the road to get me and my siblings from school.
Yes.
And then we got stuck halfway up our driveway, and it's a gravel driveway, and those are not supposed to freeze. So, and then we were out of power for like 2 weeks. And people were stuck in
2
Atlanta
weeks.
for 15 plus hours and had emergency vehicles coming to get them. So like Georgia falls apart.
Do y'all have a generator?
I do. Yes, we do
Wait.
now.
Are y'all gonna take your animals and put them in your house? She has a lot of animals, outside animals.
I do. I don't, the ponies have jackets. They're good. They're big boys. They can take care of themselves. Chickens, I think I would probably just lock up in the coop with a couple of heaters. The dogs are going to be in the basement. We've got heaters in the basement and heated blankets for them. And the cats are going to do they're good.
Cats
He can manage.
That's what I love about cats. They take care of themselves. You know, my last week. This is the reason I haven't posted our first episode yet. I was house sitting, and my brother has a cavalcade of animals, and I did feel like I was, doing Peyton's life in terms of running a miniature farm. Because I woke up yesterday, woke up. I don't know if you guys have cats, right? But you wake up every morning, the cat makes a sound that it's like they haven't been fed since the biblical times, and it's all your fault. So you wake up and he's making the worst sound. So I got really annoyed and I yelled at him to shut up, and then he got scared and vomited up a fur ball. So, that's my bad. Did that. Then I had to drive in the torrential rain. We had a freak storm as well. It flooded. I had to drive through that to my brother's house. 2 cats, 2 guinea pigs, an axolotl, if you don't, that's a Mexican walking fish, and then a bunch of goldfish. Clean up after the cats, come back home, and then there's a cat that I've adopted here because I just feed him because I love him. He's a Russian blue, really, really lovely cat. He came around and I had to feed him. He was so hungry he bit my hand, and then he spent the rest of the day sunning himself on my deck. So is this what your everyday is like, Peyton? It just revolves around the animals?
Pretty much, like I always say, my chickens are self-sufficient. But yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Can I also just ask, this is bugging me, Peyton, behind you, is that an overhead projector?
That's so embarrassing. Yeah, it is.
How old is that?
It's older than me. This
I'm
is
gonna
actually this is what I use to get my paintings to scale. I'll show you guys because I love this dinosaur. There things go. My aunt was a teacher, and I needed a projector, but I didn't think to go on Amazon and buy like an electric projector to plug into my phone or anything like that. And she was like, well, I have a projector. And so she gave me one of these old, and you have to use whatever that clear paper is, on top of it.
Sheet, yeah.
And project it with the mirror system. But I haven't seen one of these since I was in primary school.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to stop calling it old. I had those in high school. So if we could, they're just.
Morgan, are you
just
being
call it
slightly
you and
vulnerable? Are we being slightly ageist towards you, Morgan?
There's not even that big of a gap between you and I. There's not even a 10-year gap between you and I.
I feel that in my soul. You're like, I haven't seen this since primary school, and I'm like, oh God, my math teacher used that in 11th grade.
You think that's bad? When I interview people and I ask all of you guys what your least favorite sound is, 90% of you say nails on a chalkboard. And I look at the person, I'm going liar. Like, surely, do you guys still have chalkboard in school? Because we haven't had them for like 10, 15 years. Oh, you still have chalk? Oh.
I don't know. I haven't been to school in a long
because it was
time.
bad for everyone to
I did
inhale
in some of my classrooms. We had a lot of smart boards that all started when I was in middle school and things, smart boards. But then the smart boards went away because they never worked, and people went back to dry erase boards and chalk.
Don't you just gotta love that, right? When tech comes in and it's supposed to change our lives, and the tech doesn't work, and no one knows how to make the old stuff work anymore. I interviewed, I think it was Miss Louisiana volunteer last week, and she's like 18 or 9. I don't know how old she is. She looks very young, but behind her, similar to Peyton, but she had a vinyl player. If you guys even,
I've got one downstairs.
Oh, but the old school record.
I got one right here.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool, but I think hers might have been a digital one, not an old school one. But the other thing that, since we've been off air, you guys all had like your festive period and New Year's. So, I mean, I'll go back to Geanna, who right now is regretting her life choices because she's stuck with us. How was your festive period?
It was good. It was good. I didn't go anywhere crazy. I am a teacher, so I was resetting a lot. I slept in a lot more than I expected. I was trying not to ruin my sleep schedule, and I did. But other than that, I mean, now we're back. I'm hoping for a snow day, but the holidays were really nice.
What age do you teach?
I teach middle school. I'm a special ed teacher. I teach 7th and 8th grade. A mix of English and social studies, and an academic support class. I teach a little bit of everything.
Do they roast you? Like, do your students like middle schoolers?
I got called
or
Unk the other day.
Unk?
I got called Unk.
And chopped?
Unk and chopped are apparently the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask me what it means. I'm trying to keep up, Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confused. Okay.
So yeah, they roast me. They keep me young. They say 6'7". I don't.
Oh
even
no!
know how
Don't
many
stop
times.
that. Don't no.
Don't know. I don't know what it means, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, my nephew has started. He's 11, 12 years old, and he started saying that. And I used to tennis coach, so I worked a lot with kids, and I wouldn't put up with any nonsense. And so when someone says that to me, and I say, "What does that mean?" and they say, "I don't know," I just say, "Well, that's just stupid, isn't it?" But this is why I shouldn't work as a teacher. I was actually starting to be a teacher, then I realized I shouldn't be let. As a tennis coach, it was all right. As a teacher, maybe not so much.
no,
But
they actually like when
but
you give it back to them sometimes. Like
They
I
do.
like I
that's
give
why
it back to them.
I was always their favorite coach because I would give it back more. I don't know if any of you guys are super tall, but my favorite thing was when the kids were mucking up on the tennis court. You know, like they've all got red sugar, red cordial, waving their rackets around and whacking each other with the tennis balls. All I would need to do was just go up right next to them, and because I'm over 6 foot tall, and just stare down at them, and they would take a while to notice, and they'd stare up, and they'd be like, "Oh," and then they know they're in trouble, and they'd never give me any problems again. But that would probably get me fired from the school in the current climate. So,
Yeah.
good for you though. That sounds like is it a fulfilling job? I don't want to speak for you. I imagine it's fulfilling.
It's my first year, like full time. Kind of. I second year,
Right.
first year. Depends on how you want to count it. It's, but it is fulfilling. It's exhausting sometimes, but I
Yeah.
also I love them. Like I say, sometimes they're jerks, but they're my jerks, so it's okay.
Valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teachers get a
if I-
fast track to heaven. I feel like God lets you just cut the line. He's like, listen, bro, I saw what you were going through. Like, just get up here.
If that's true, I might need to be a teacher again because I've been
Absolutely
watching
not.
reruns of
Absolutely
the
not, dude.
series. I've been watching Lucifer episodes. I don't know if you guys ever watched that series, Lucifer, and it's all about whether you go to heaven and hell. And like I'm now thinking, oh, I better get up to heaven because hell sounds terrible. Morgan, how was, speaking of hell? I don't know what that means. How was your festive period?
It was good. We kept Christmas super low key. I have a very big extended family, so like lots of aunts and cousins. But then on Christmas Eve, she's gonna listen to this at some point. Sorry, Aunt Wendy. My aunt texted us and said that like half of her family was exposed to COVID, so we
Oh.
couldn't even do Christmas. But then I'm like, were you actually, or did you just not want to deal with everyone in your house at the exact same time? Because like I get it. I'm not gonna judge you if so. So just know, like, Aunt Wendy, I love you. I'm questioning whether that was actually a thing. But outside
Do you
of
need a
that,
doctor's certificate?
it was good, huh?
Do you want a doctor's certificate? You know, the stuff that they
Oh,
used to make you bring
Honestly,
into
yeah.
school?
Like I would feel better if she sent a note, like an actual screenshot, and was like, "Sorry, guys, but I'm over here." I'm like, suspicious, not super
Are you-
suspicious, little suspicious.
Morgan, is the rest of your extended family louder than you or quieter than you? Just to give us a
Louder.
vibe.
Um,
My-
equivalent. My husband said that it's like if you watch Shameless. I don't know if y'all have
Okay.
seen the show Shameless and Duck Dynasty. He tells people put that together, and that's my family. Also, really sorry if that upset anyone in the family. Love y'all. We're really loud. We're a very mixed crew, so you just get all kinds of flavors and personalities, but we yell over each other. That's how we communicate.
It sounds like a normal Asian family because Asians aren't known, at least Chinese are not known for speaking quietly. So much so that if I ever take a white friend to a Chinese restaurant, their first question is, why is everyone so angry? I'm like, they're not angry. That's just how they speak.
Yeah.
So one person is really loud. The next person has to be louder. And so when you go into a Chinese restaurant, it's a cacophony. You don't hear anything.
It's
So-
incredibly dysfunctional. I love it.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think every family, though, is dysfunctional. It's just a matter to what degree. Miss Peyton, how was your festive period?
It was lovely. We had a couple of we had a couple of medical emergencies in my family. So a little bit of a heavier Christmas. Y'all know that always happens in the holidays. Everybody's okay,
Okay.
but was a little stressed out. So if I was a little short to respond to anybody or anything like that, that's where that was coming from.
I mean, someone in the family just had to keep y'all on your toes. They were like,
Mhm.
listen,
I know.
things are going
Yeah.
really good right now. Let's spice it up.
Yeah. A handful of people. Yeah, if you will. I was like, oh,
No,
okay, stay
nothing says
inside.
Merry Christmas like an emergency room visit. Thanks,
I know.
guys. We love an urgent care on the 23rd. That's the best.
Literally. But other than that, fabulous. I got a pottery wheel for Christmas. So you guys know. That was like my big ask, and I'm so excited to start throwing.
You want to get together and reenact that scene from Ghost?
I was going to
I've
say,
never
what
seen
song
Ghost.
popped into my head. What's the song?
This is how we're old, Adrian. She's never
Morgan,
seen it.
Morgan, what's the song that plays in that scene? All My Love. It's that song that goes, "All my love, my darling, I hunger for your touch." What?
I don't know, but it is real.
I know what clip you're talking about, but
I
I've
know,
never
yeah.
seen Ghost.
You need to recreate that. I'm sorry, but
I've seen the parodies of the scene, but not
I
the
got a
actual
lot of
Yeah.
tattoos. I'll be the boy.
Okay.
I think wasn't there a parody of the scene where they're showing like someone molding the clay, but then their hand gets it wrong and the clay just basically explodes and goes all over
Whips
the room?
around. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for
Have
it.
you Peyton, have you used it yet?
I have. I got, and that's my flub. I got some clay from Hobby Lobby, thinking that it was going to be fabulous. Not that it's not, but it was hard as stone. So I was trying to just work the 1 pound on the wheel that I had, and it was not having much give. So, Morgan, I need more upper body workouts.
So if you see her on the Miss Volunteer America stage with some meaty forearms, don't question anything. She was just kneading the dough. Oh my God, put your calf on it. Biscuit factory.
Oh, he would love that. Gus is always in the biscuit.
He needs to
factory.
work out anyways.
He does. That's true.
You do have that gigantically fat cat. Just get him to sit on it. He'll warm it up.
She has a morbidly obese cat.
I
In
do.
case you didn't know.
He's got a binge eating disorder, is what Haley said.
Yeah. When she picked him, I thought she was just over exaggerating because I thought my cat was fat. The 3 cats that I was feeding last week, you put them all together, that's basically the size of her cat. Stop feeding him, Peyton.
He is on a timer. Okay, he eats his brother's food, and that's why Pookie is getting skinnier and Octavius is getting bigger.
The other one's name is Pookie.
Well, his name is Milo, but he doesn't know that.
Like,
It happens.
He only responds to Pookie.
I call my clients Pookie sometimes, so that
Yeah.
I like that name a lot.
Just makes me think of my skinny orange cat.
Hi, Pookie.
my cat's name is Bob. The problem with that is the next door neighbors who moved in, the husband is also Bob, and he's very much not I'm not gonna say he's not nice, but he's not the sort of person that you just make small talk with. He's very, I think he was a builder or constructor, so he's very factual. And then I realized one day because I talk to my cat all the time, like a completely unhinged, crazy person. And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm Bobby, Mr. Bobby." And I just realized he's out there hearing this and he thinks I'm talking to him. And I was like, I don't know whether I should tell him that I wasn't speaking to him, but yeah.
No,
It's
absolutely not. Don't tell him. Make it as weird as possible.
Whatever he wants to think.
he's a big bearded man with tattoos,
I like
and he's
that.
thinking, "Oh, Bobby."
I like that.
Just kill me now. It's like, when you're singing in your car, bopping along, and you think you sound like, I don't know, whoever, and then someone's pulled up next to you and they're looking at you like this, and then you have to pretend that you were on a phone call.
No, I start
It's like-
serenading them. Why would you ever pretend you're on the phone? That's when you turn and you try to get them to dance with you and you roll down the windows.
Peyton, give me an example. Serenade us.
That's not my talent. I'm a speed painter for a reason.
All right. That might as well segue smoothly on to our topic of the day, which is our pageant wish lists for 2026. So I'll throw Morgan in the deep end first. So we're going to go around the room and give you one item that we're kind of wishing in 2026 will happen for pageants. I think now is a good time for change in the industry just because of what happened with Miss USA last year. Tom taking over, I think that really, whatever you think of the guy, I've interviewed him. I'm not going to say I love him. That sounds inappropriate. But I have a lot of respect for the guy. Okay, fine. I love him. I need to get used to saying that. You guys from the South say, I love you. And I'm like, we don't say that in Asian families. Okay, so I'm getting used to it. But I think it breathed new life into the. And I love how Morgan does this. She says, I love you. And I'm like, see you next week. And she's like, say it back. And it's like, you never hear anyone be as aggressive as a Southern person who hasn't heard you say, I love you back. Because I have another friend in South Carolina. She goes, say it back. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. Anyway, it seems to really set you guys up. Say it back. Okay, I'm sorry. I love you. Anyway, Miss USA, I think Miss Universe was another kettle of fish. They just put out another statement on their account. One of those official statements now, by the way, it's so long and they did a photo of it. You can't read the text. It's like an A4 letter on Instagram. And I'm reading going, this might be an official statement. I can't read anything of what you've said. But that aside, Miss USA, I think, got a new lease on life with a change of ownership. And I think most people were very positive about it, as was I. And so I thought, at least in American pageantry, maybe 2026 could be a year of growth, change, fingers crossed. Because I do think that there are some things that do need to change. I think there are certain things that we need to stop doing. I also think there are certain people that need to be kicked out. We won't go into that. I won't name names. But just to give you guys a context, when I say pageant wish list, this is the angle I'm coming from. So, Miss Morgan, who's taking a large swig of whatever is in that mug, and I won't get you to disclose what's in that mug. Okay, sure.
Coffee at 7:30.
What would be your wish list, number one item on your wish list?
Okay. Only at the national level, because at the state level, I'm not trying to put somebody on blast to that point. But at the national level, it should be fine. Y'all remember, back in the day, maybe not, because Adrian and I are old, when they would live stream
Can you
Miss
stop
USA,
beginning every sentence with, because Adrian's old, because I'm old? Okay?
I just have to let the kids know why we don't understand their jokes now. So when
The
they would
jokes are
live stream,
stupid.
you'd see Miss whatever state walk across the stage, and all of a sudden you've got scores popping up at the bottom. Tom, if you're listening, bring it back. I want it. And I feel like so many people would hate it, and I feel like it's a very controversial thing to want back, but just at all of the national pageants, America, Volunteer, USA, all of them, we got 87 million. The transparency, no one could question anything ever again. It is right there in front of your face. You can see how your people are doing. You just know. I love the idea of it. Maybe not everyone does, but bring back live scoring. Or let the judges hold up a card, like 10, 9, 9.5. I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see it. It would just take the entertainment edge of a pageant to the, fully sat. I'm not taking a break. I'm not getting up to pee. I don't need a refill for popcorn. I need to see how all 51 contestants just got scored. And yeah, if you against it, get over it. That's just
this is the thing, because I'm not going to say I love that idea. I do, but that's one of my wish lists too, is to actually, I've said it's like gymnastics or figure skating at the Olympics. Yeah, I actually said not only should there be live scores, but it should be clear which judge gave which score.
Yes!
And if that is scaring the judge, then something weird is going on, right? Because if you can't justify why you gave that score, then something sus is going on behind the scenes. And that was my whole take on it. It's like, I think this would be a good idea. Tell me why I'm wrong. And no one will tell me why I'm wrong. The only answer you kind of get is, oh, we don't do that in pageantry, or that's not the way it's done. So I didn't know it used to be done like that. I would love to know why it was taken away, because for me, the only reason to do that is so you can have shenanigans going on behind the scenes. And I can't think of any other reason why you wouldn't want to. One director told me, oh, it would hurt their feelings, and if we did it live and someone didn't like it, they would cause a riot. And I'm like,
losing hurts their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to lose, I'd like to know why. That's what I'm going to say.
Just be like, oh yeah, by the way, when you walked off, you got like 8s across the board for evening gown. That was your lowest thing. Now, I'm not saying like I don't want to throw it up where they can see it while they're still on stage competing. But
No.
like, if we could just get, I mean, just like the Olympics, that would
Yeah.
be iconic. Iconic. I don't know why they stopped it. I don't know when they stopped it. ChatGPT could probably tell me, but bring back live scoring.
Okay. Yeah, I
Only
didn't
at the
actually
national
know.
level, not state level.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
fair.
So I think it's a good idea. I was going to say something and I completely forgot what it was, but I don't know. I'd love to see it brought back. As I said, I didn't know that it had been a thing before. Geanna, we'll go to you. What's on your wish list?
So I went kind of thinking back to when I was watching pageantry as a young girl growing up. I didn't start competing till I was a teen, but I remember watching, Miss USA and seeing things in the early 2000s, 2010s where they had really cool appearances. And I know we kind of talked about, not just appearances, but even, just prize package in general, but they had really cool appearances that were these once in a lifetime opportunities that you didn't get kind of on your own. And if you were able to get them on your own, then there was no point in really competing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, whether it be the Thanksgiving Day parade or red carpet events, real red carpet events, not little red carpet events, but for like big movie premieres, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was actually really cool, the whole Wicked premiere that I think Miss Teen USA went to. So just kind of bringing more of those, we should be putting our national title holders to be seen at these very public red carpet events with other big names. We don't want Miss USA or, Miss America to be with like, just smaller things. We want them with the A-list and B-list celebrities. Come on.
Don't hang out with the common folks. We want to see y'all with the top tiers.
But like that's like even I think
dope.
Yeah. Even like Chesley got a whole job at like Entertainment Tonight after her son as Miss USA. So like something where if you win, you could have a long-term kind of name for yourself in the industry, and not kind of a one and done situation where like after your Miss USA, not that anyone's one and done, but you know what I mean. Like I just something where, look at Olivia Culpo where her name is still a household name years later.
No, that's I miss the parades. I mean, I just feel like it used to be, they used to really live in the limelight. And now when I explain to people what I do and specifically what industry I do it in, back in the day, I feel like it wouldn't have been as confusing to people because Miss America was so common. And now with some of these pageants, I feel like they're just looking at me like I'm talking about the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like bring it back to its former limelight glory with the queens. I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. The queens get their stylist. They get
Show
someone,
off.
a handler taking them to all these events. I don't know. Maybe it's a lot to ask. I'd love to see it. That's what made me want to compete.
Let me get your guys' feedback on this. So that would be great. I think the reason it stopped happening is fairly obvious. It's because pageants have fallen out of favor. I look at the objective metrics of this. If you look at a Google trend search, you look for how many people are searching for pageants, Miss USA, Miss America, or pageant coaching. Since 2008, which is when I think the Google trend information started, it's just been a downward trend. It's probably flatlined for about the last 2 or 3 years. Interest in pageants, I would say fairly confidently, is at an all-time low. So what I think, this is a reason, like I really getting behind what Tom is doing, because I think he's got the right idea in terms of you need to build it back up and you need to provide those opportunities. But it's very hard to do it when a lot of people, like you said, Morgan, you talk about pageants and they look at you like you're talking about the Twilight Zone. Me in Australia, it's like, pageants are real? You mean like Miss Congeniality? And so if you have to explain what you're doing or what product you're selling, it's already game over. So the question I would ask you guys is, how do you think we can bring pageants back to some version of their glory days? Because I think if we do that, then the red carpet opportunities will automatically happen. At the moment, I think it's difficult because people go, well, I don't want a pageant girl here because I have no idea. Like, it's not the same as, an Instagram celebrity or a TikTok celebrity or something like that. So anyone have any ideas as to how we can put pageants back in the spotlight. Yes, Miss Morgan.
Televise it, bro. Like back in
Mhm.
the day, we would watch Miss America on TV, all of them on TV. And then obviously, I know that like things change. And like when Tom came into Miss USA, he was on such a short timeline, and the man
Yeah.
over provided. Like he went above and beyond what I think any of us could have ever imagined or asked for, and he did the most, and it was iconic. But back in the day, I remember flipping through cable,
Mm.
and then my mom would flip, and all of a sudden, Miss America is on the television. Miss USA is on TV, and it's like, oh crap, the pageant's on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how people who typically aren't pageant followers all of a sudden go, Miss USA is on. And it's hard to look away from. It's like the Olympics, bro. I'm not a fan of gymnastics or snowboarding or whatever, but if it's on TV, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is freaking cool. Let's watch it.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, you become really patriotic. I feel like same thing with pageants. All of a sudden, you don't have to know I'm South Carolina. I don't have to know Miss South Carolina, but if I'm watching Miss America and South Carolina, bet 10 toes down. That's my
Yes.
girl behind her
Mhm.
110%. So like,
Yeah.
put it on TV. Bring it back.
Well, and I don't even
Okay.
think it needs to be on mainstream TV either. I think that nobody really watches that anyways anymore. And I think that, putting it on YouTube and things is the right direction, is the right thought, but putting it behind a paywall,
Mm-mm.
I know we need the money, but in the same breath, it's making the views go
Yep.
down. People aren't willing to pay $100 just to watch something when that's the same price as a ticket, and they could go buy a ticket and go down there, and it'd be the same thing. It's just not worth it in the climate that we're in, the financial climate that we're in. It's just not feasible. So I would love to see one of these pageant systems get a partnership or some kind of contract with Netflix, with Amazon Prime, with Hulu, with
Yes.
because the
Yes.
whole right now, of course, with like Dancing with Stars,
Mhm.
that's bigger right now than it even was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Tenfold. And it's because it's on these streaming platforms, and also because it's on TikTok, and these people are coming from TikTok to the TV shows like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and then into Dancing with the Stars. And if we could get that kind of momentum with these pageant title holders, state, national, what have you, I really think that we can gain the traction back. It's just knowing the right people. And I think that we do. I just don't think that we're talking about it enough.
Yeah.
And not to like, I'm not going to blast what national pageant it was, but they do make you pay. Pretty much all of them do. I don't think there's a
Mhm.
single one where you just get to
Yeah.
stream it for free.
Yeah.
There was
Volunteer
one this
America
Volunteer,
was-
you get to stream for free.
You do.
Yeah.
You are correct. There was one this year that I literally saw where someone on TikTok, they said, oh, I already bought the package. I'm going to go live and stream it.
Yep.
I think there were over 3,000 or 4,000 people streaming one
The
through
line.
one person's ticket. Like,
Yeah.
bruh,
Yeah.
think of how many people who aren't pageant followers would be tuning in if they just didn't have to do all of that. I'm not going to pay to watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
pay to watch pageants. I have girls competing, like, but that's because it's my job. Yeah, more accessible.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think would bring about a lot more
100%.
just relevance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I watch the Olympics every time it's on with my mom. We're sat. But if
Yeah.
we had to pay $150 to watch it, I'm gonna miss it. I'll just
Yeah.
somebody update me. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna miss it.
Catch the highlights on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me then run you through this. So if we're aiming to try and televise it, get a broader audience, and not get people to pay for it, which I completely understand and agree with, because in this day and age you can get so much for free now, so easily, that you couldn't before. So that bar is always, in terms of what you need to give away for free to be a value proposition, it's always getting harder and harder. That's the world. That's competition. Here's the thought, though. I think certain things are free because people have huge interests in them, like the Olympics. But I also think there needs to be a spectacle. Otherwise, you wouldn't be interested in it. So, right, in the Olympics, it's the best of the best coming together. Or in the Australia case, that break dancer, what was her name? Who did the T-Rex, and she went viral.
Yeah.
Reason Ray Gun. Oh my God.
Yes.
But by the way, that person ended up suing someone for using her likeness because she claimed it was infringing on her intellectual property. Anyway, right? So people love a spectacle.
Mhm.
I think the thing that's missing from pageantry at the moment is spectacle, but also I don't want to offend anyone. Interesting characters, interesting people. And I don't think it's because of a lack of interesting people. I think it's because pageantry doesn't allow them to be interesting. It's like this conversation I had just this week with another pageant contestant. People talk about authenticity all the time. Oh, I need to be authentic. I need to be real. It's like, oh, be real. It's a secret to winning in pageantry. I'm like, pageantry doesn't really allow you guys to be real. It's a version of real that's acceptable in pageantry. And I'm sorry, but I don't think the vast majority of the public actually find that interesting. And no one's watching it. And then if there's no interest, it's never going to get televised. So I think if we're talking like granular, how can we actually make this happen? Maybe 5 years, 10 years from now, who knows? I think the first thing you need to do is cut your title holders loose and trust them to actually genuinely be authentically engaging and interesting. And please stop photoshopping every... We spoke about this when we did an episode about photo shooting. You need to let them be actually real, not the fake sort of pageant version of real, but their most authentic real. Because every influencer that I know who's famous now, it's almost because they were authentic. Even if you look at, and I know not everyone in this room is the biggest fan, but if you look at Taylor Swift, her whole brand is around, stop laughing, is around...
I'm not a Swiftie. I'm sorry, don't shoot me down.
I'm not either. Okay, so you're not alone, so you can shoot. Come for me first. But the thing is, what you can't deny is people go crazy for Taylor Swift. I don't think it's because her music is that much better than the next person, but they relate to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, aside from the fact that she takes a private jet everywhere, but they relate to her and they go, oh, that could be me. Because what is she doing? She's talking about, you know, breakups and relationships and things like that. And people relate to that. I don't think you guys in pageantry are allowed to be like that. Because it wasn't that long ago, can't say you've got a boyfriend. Can't say you're married. You know, you can't say this, you can't say that. Dye your hair blonde, cut it short. You'll never win looking like that. Got to wear this dress, got to wear... And I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought we were past that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thought. I think if we want to make this happen, we need to allow you guys to be more engaging. Because I think you are. But I think in many ways you're handcuffed.
Mm-hmm.
We got nodding. You chime in.
I was going to say, I think a lot of it, at least from something that we can do now, is even just starting with social media and making that more engaging. Like, because so many people, I'm just thinking of just all the influencers that gained notoriety from TikToks and just, you know, they post one viral video. Obviously, we don't want bad press, but also any press is good press, like they say. So I think even just letting the title holders loose to an extent on social media, and I know it's like risky, but at the same time, you know, picking someone that will build the brand that way and not just on like a, you know, a title holder account, but in general, if that makes any sense.
I think the thing... Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
I think that a great example of that is Kylan Darnell.
Yeah.
I followed Kylan before she went to the University of Alabama, before she did the whole sorority thing. I never was in a sorority. I had no interest in it. That's just not my vein. So that's not when I followed her. I actually followed her from when she was Ohio Teen USA. I think that's right. I think she was Ohio Teen USA. And it was her win. Like, she posted the cutest little videos about her win that caught my attention. But then as soon as she started rushing and she said, you know, I hope you're having a great day, not just a good day, like having a tagline like that was totally just her. That's her personality shining through and her being able to authentically be herself, even though it was outside of pageantry. I think along with the rush, that was what pulled people towards her. And why, you know, maybe her videos got more traction than somebody else in Alabama rushing the same sorority as she was. I think that, you know, just being a little more authentic, even if you feel like you've got a bubble around you and you can't go outside of certain limits, I think still being true to who you are is all we can ask for these title holders to go on social media. I say that and I feel like I'm talking in third person. I do my best to be myself. I mean, like this podcast, I mean, I'm not a Swiftie. Like things like that. You know what I mean? I
dare you.
try not to limit yourself. I know. Try not to limit yourself to the standards you think people want you to fit into, if that makes sense. And I think that that's really how we're gonna break into media.
It's my two things. Love that little teeny bopper you mentioned. She's not a teeny bopper anymore. She's definitely in her 20s now.
Yeah.
Alex Earl. Everyone knows her.
Yes.
She was on Dancing with the Stars. She didn't become TikTok famous because she was showing up, if we put it in pageant terms, she wasn't constantly just showing up with her crown and sash on, making an appearance. Homegirl was showing you her acne and her messy bedroom. And we could look at it and be like, oh crap, like, bro, that's me. And I feel like now a lot of these women who are contractually obligated to listen to their directors are ultimately only feeling like they're able to be a reflection of what their directors want them to be, which is not, I mean, I would hope not. I can't speak, but like, it's not why they should have crowned you. They shouldn't have crowned you so you can be a perfect little manipulated mirror image of what they want to be displaying and bringing on. Like, if I'm going to crown you, I want to crown the entire woman, and that includes the messy woman and the woman who's cranky at 9 o'clock in the morning because her coffee hasn't kicked in yet, and the girl who sweats profusely during her workout and she shows up dressed like Adam Sandler at a basketball court instead of a perfect little fit. I don't want to see your cute little Matt Pilates workout video all the time. Dude, I want to see you drenched with a dookie bun, looking like fresh faced and zit faced and upset and eating a McDonald's cheeseburger. Like, I want to see the raw moments that's also you when the crown comes off. And I feel like for almost every single system out there, these women, maybe some of them don't, maybe some of them that is who they are to a T, but a lot of the times they feel like they can only post and provide the perfectly manicured, perfectly groomed, crown sashed appearance situations. And like, that's not what people relate to, which is why it puts us in a pageant bubble where it's an untouchable group of humans that everyone else looks at and we're like, yeah, we don't get it.
I also think, and I say this as someone who's interviewed hundreds of pageant contestants, I don't think everyone who's in pageantry at the moment is capable of doing that sort of entertaining content, being real, but in an interesting way. Not everyone is great at making content, but I think it's absolutely necessary in this day and age because that's how you're going to get discovered. It's not by being on national TV because, as Peyton said, no one really watched. I don't remember the last time I watched. I'm watching TV now, but that's because Pageant is on. But I don't think a lot of I don't want to put a number on it, but not everyone who's a title holder at the moment is actually capable of growing a following because they're simply not that interesting. Not everyone is interesting or able to create interesting content. And so I think pageantry should not only accept people for who they are, I think they need to search proactively for it. It needs to be built into the scoring system. There should be some sort of, and I don't want to say score the social media because that's a whole can of worms. Like, well, what are you going to judge it on? But if you can't be interesting, you can't be engaging, then if you're the title holder, you kill the system. And I just want to when Geanna, you talked about, being the perfection and not, the thing is, I don't think anyone trusts perfection. So if you are pretending to be perfect, inherently you're now unrelatable. This would come back to the Swiftie thing again. It's like a lot of the stuff she talks about is being whatever, right? It's not about being perfect because no one would relate to her. And the other thing, I think, Geanna, you said this part was about, yes, it's a bit of a risk and, you cut the title holder loose. And the thing is, you need to trust your title holder. And of course you work with them. I'm not saying you let them do whatever they want and they become an OnlyFans person selling foot pics. I get that. But even that would be more interesting than someone pretending to be perfect. And so pageants need to stop running away from things simply because, it might ruin our reputation. If your reputation is for being a perfect little princess, no one's believing that anyway. No one's buying it except other pageant perfect princesses who behind the scenes, by the way, are probably the most boring people to speak to. And I say this as having interviewed hundreds of you. The most interesting conversations are with the most unhinged people. When someone pretends to be perfect, it's mind-bogglingly boring because you feel like you're speaking to a wall. I might as well interview ChatGPT. I don't even think it's about, okay, well, that person might go off the rails and say something bad. I think you need to embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when pageantry screws up. I think that's actually a chance to show that you're real, and you proactively say, hey, look, we screwed up. We're sorry. This is why it happened, and this is how we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. You don't do a I won't throw any system under the bus. Stop releasing official statements. No one believes them, right? And the more you do that, the more you hurt your brand. And then if you're a big brand, you hurt the entire industry.
Mhm.
So I think at a granular level, I think we need to start searching for title holders who can actually, okay, intelligent, articulate, got an advocacy happening, got all that. But I think we need to filter for interesting.
Yeah.
Because not everyone is. I know that might be controversial. So everyone's special. Everyone's unique. Yeah, you're unique like everyone else. But not everyone has the gift of being interesting. And I will say that when I was going through who do I want to be on the podcast, my primary filter, I can't exactly say how I worded it because that's not appropriate, but I wanted people who were interesting. I would never, and I had some very big time famous people say they wanted to be on the podcast. And I took one look at their Instagram and it's like, you couldn't, I mean, Geanna, I don't know if you experienced this half an hour ago, but you get on a call with us and you're like, oh my God, these people are unhinged, which I don't blame you for.
But I love it.
It's like the people go, oh, do you have a list of questions?
Mhm.
I've done 400, 500 interviews. I've never had a list of questions and I never will. Because if you're not interesting enough to have a conversation with me, no one is going to follow you. And then if you have a bunch of title holders who are like that, no one's going to follow the system. Then the question is, why is pageantry relevant? All these people are pretending to be perfect, and they're a collection of plastic surgery. Not relatable, not authentic. And when they say they're being authentic, it's like, look at me without my makeup, but you're like a 10 out of 10 because of your genetics. It's like,
Your face
that's
app.
not-
Look, no makeup, no makeup day with a face app filter. Bro, we know that's a filter. We know that's a filter.
Look,
Every
I'm sorry.
woman
I
at
know,
this point buys that.
I know this will offend some people, but if the most vulnerable you can ever be is not wearing makeup, unless you have like very bad acne and things like that, I think you need to do a bit more life. And I say this having interviewed people who've been shot at, been in DV, abusive relationships. I have been suicidal twice. I've worked on a suicide hotline. If your most vulnerable moment and you think the biggest problem in the world is, oh, I don't have makeup today, I think we need to readjust. And I think this is why we're losing the public, because people think we're drinking our own Kool-Aid. And I think in many respects we are. So again, I really hope... Well, which I'm trying to get us away from doing it, right? But that's why I brought, sorry, Geanna, excuse you, because I brought Haley, Morgan, and Peyton on, because when I had conversations with them, they were all, I think, an hour and a half long or longer. Peyton's was in her car, by the way, because her internet. So, but these are interesting people. I mean, Geanna, you tell me, when you jumped on the call with us, what was it like?
It was an immediate conversation. So I was like, okay, this will be easy to just jump right in because you guys were already talking. So it was just,
Atta girl.
I didn't have to do any work. Like
I
I
feel
did,
like
but it's
now-
easy.
All of the
Do you think it
teams-
was a pageant? Do you think it was a normal pageant conversation?
Oh, absolutely not. But even at pageants, I don't have normal pageant conversations. That's how I make my friends. Like,
And that's the
This is
real
the thing.
part of it.
So if that's not what's really happening,
Yeah.
why are we showing it? I mean,
Yeah.
Peyton was talking about suppositories. I don't know why. Why were you talking about suppositories?
I wasn't. We were talking about my point
yes.
that we were
But
going to
she
bring up,
mixed up the
Which-
word.
which is performative advocacies. But I said suppository.
Performative
I think
suppositories.
performative suppositories sound really actually bring those into pageants.
Oh no.
A lot of
I'm gonna be a
I mean,
meme.
listen, a lot of women get constipated when they go compete at the national level anyways, because you're traveling and like your poop schedule's all messed up. You're not sleeping the same waters. performative suppositories.
Mhm.
We put just like glitter in them. Like, is it like a surprise like glitter
It's
bomb?
performative because it's just for pageants, right? Like, is that why it's
Right.
Okay.
right? Because you do
It's
it
a
for
orient
specific
that?
genre of suppository.
Yes.
This feels like a good time to say Waffle House, please sponsor us.
Waffle House
Anyway,
again.
They wouldn't need a suppository if they ate Waffle House while they were competing in nationals. Then we could
I'm
fix this
trying to
problem.
get Waffle House to sponsor us.
Waffle House, I will be there.
We
March,
need
the
your
first
greasy
weekend of
hash
March.
browns. We need the hash browns.
Wait, is
Had
Waffle
it
House that
covered,
good?
chunked, and topped. Did I get it
Never
right?
had Waffle House, Geanna.
She's from up north, bro.
Ah,
They
I
do
don't
things
care.
different.
You've been
They-
south, right?
They do diners. They
like-
do diners.
yes, diners.
It's
And I'm Greek.
dirty.
We own all them, so not me
It's
personally.
like it's dirty. It's greasy. It is heavy. It is where everybody goes after they're had a really long night out, whether it's a
Mhm.
pageant or a party, whatever. That is always my go-to. After I win any pageants, the first place I go to is Waffle House, and I get very dirty hash browns.
So kind of the equivalent of like our diners, greasy
Okay,
food, and
yeah.
like
24/7 New York diner, but
Yes.
at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning once the clubs and bars close, and
Okay.
your waitress either reeks of tobacco or she's got the really raspy smoker's voice and she
Yeah.
probably calls you honey or baby or sugar or something like that, and she's not nice. She's like, "What do you want?" And then slams your plate down, and you know that you're not going to have a hangover in the morning because the grease soaks it all up. That.
I love how you guys I love how
Sorry,
you
I
guys
derailed
from
that.
different parts, like you explain yourselves using these cultural sort of things that people can relate to. Like even
lived
I
in the
understand
city
what
for
that's
a
like.
few years.
there you go.
It's a sketchy Jersey diner. You got not Midtown or anything like that in the city. You got to go over to like Weehawken, Jersey. That's what you're gonna get.
Oh my
Delicious.
goodness.
But it's in
I
the
feel like
backwoods of Alabama or Georgia or Tennessee.
So I gotta go down there.
And half of the people have on their camo because they're about to go into the woods to go hunting while everybody else is
Yeah.
coming home.
Yes. Yes.
So you eat your Waffle House before you go hunting, even though Waffle House is going to take away the need for a suppository. That doesn't sound like that's going to work out logistically. Although maybe out in the wild, maybe you okay. Well, what
My
anyway?
granddaddy drove around with a roll of toilet paper in the back of his truck. You never know when the urge is going to hit you. You sometimes
But does that
you gotta
scare away
squat
the
in
animals?
nature.
That's called wisdom.
What, does pooping scare away animals?
Yeah, like does the smell like
I
Nah.
don't know. Maybe. But maybe
Nah.
it attracts them. Maybe they're
Like-
like, what kind of deer
I was
is
going
this?
to say my bathroom at the moment, Geanna, seems to be in the path of wasps. Like
Oh.
every time I go into my bathroom, there's a wasp, and I'm not scared of them, but I don't want to be
Is it
stung.
inside?
I am though?
What?
Because like
No,
I'm
no, no.
terrified of
It's
wasps.
just it's outside. Well, no, it's
Your
inside, but
bathroom's outside?
no, it's inside. You're asking me weird questions. It's inside. It's inside my house. I'm not outside on a toilet into my backyard. But what happens? What my point was, you go and sit on the toilet to do said thing, and that's always when a wasp will fly in. The only
This
other
is
time
from a wasp.
I was trying to figure out what you were doing.
Right
Morgan.
there. I went face first into a wasp nest. Kill them all.
do you normally kill wasps with your face?
Well, when I was a child at daycare, I thought I could. I was like, you know what sounds like a good idea, guys?
Damn.
Eat it.
That just
Oh my
explains Morgan
You
in
need
a
to
nutshell.
spray. You need wasp spray, the good one that shoots 24 feet. You need to kill them or burn your house down.
Morgan, no,
burn-
I
burn
know
house.
that. My point is, when it happened, I was on the toilet. The only other time it happened when I was in the shower. I don't know how you guys do it in the South. I don't sit down on the toilet next to a can of bug spray. I probably will
Did you
start
have
doing
a
that.
flip-flop? Just take your shoe off and
I don't take
crying.
my flip-flops into the bathroom. I'm sat there defenseless. That's my point.
well, it looks like you need to start crapping with a tennis racket next to you so that you can defend yourself.
You know those tennis rackets I had with they're electrified, and the
Electric
idea that
ones.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how well they work in Australia? I thought it was a great idea because I hate flies buzzing around. They're really aggressive here in Australia. So I thought, this is great because I'm a tennis coach as well. So I'm like, I can practice my forehand while I'm doing it. I saw this really big fly, almost like a light plane, and you can hear like, normally this fly was like, and I thought, okay, I'm using my tennis racket, smack, keeps going. Okay, smack, bam, keeps going. The third time I smack it, it then starts chasing me because now I've annoyed it because I've electrocuted it 3 times. These things don't work on Australian bugs. They just don't.
You guys have scary bugs there. I will.
That's
say.
why my dad says he's not going to Australia. He says
Thank you.
Like the
Thank
spiders that are
you.
this big.
I want to go.
I'm gonna send you a TikTok
Have I sent you guys my spider coffee video?
No, don't send that to me.
No, I thought I had. I think I sent it to Haley. There was a time I was working in an office space and they had it's instant coffee. You know, you boil the water, then you got to put the instant coffee in and it's brown and stuff. So I boiled the water, hit the kettle, and went back to my office to do something, then came back. The water had boiled, put it into the mug, put in the brown coffee grounds, the instant coffee, pour in the water. Everything's brown, right? And stir, go back to my office, working on editing a video, sip, sip, sip. Half an hour later, I get to the bottom of the coffee, and I'm like, what? Huh? I look down because I finished the whole thing. And at the bottom, what we call huntsmen, they're large, hairy spiders. They're harmless. And it's lying at the bottom of the coffee with its legs up. It's dead, obviously. And I kid you not.
Died and you were drinking its death
Sue
water?
everyone. Sue everyone.
So my
Sue
first instinct was, okay, that's interesting because I'm not I control my emotions quite well, unlike Miss Christen. So first one was like, that's interesting. Second one was, I think I'm going to start crying. And then third one was, how did this happen? It had crawled into the kettle because they love hiding in nooks and crannies. I had boiled it alive, and then I had poured it into my cup and made spider soup, and then been drinking it for the last 20 minutes whilst I'm editing my video. Silence. Nothing silences the room like a good Australian Aussie spider story. Danger, danger. The other one I will tell you, I was upstairs. I don't know if I told you guys this. And you know when you know your house really well and you can kind of walk around in the dark. I went upstairs, reach around for the light switch because I know it's there. I'm like, that's funny. Why does it feel like that? It's kind of soft and moving around. I looked around and I had been lovingly stroking the abdomen of one of these spiders.
I'd be stroking.
You love him.
Oh my goodness.
Why was it big enough for you to be rubbing its belly?
Well, because they're probably
The spider.
with the legs out. It's probably over 2 and a bit inches long.
Soft kitty, warm kitty with a ball of fur.
I like watching Peyton's face right now. I've never seen.
I don't even mind spiders is the thing, but they shouldn't be that big.
Yeah.
Y'all
You take that up with God, Peyton. All right.
Yeah.
I will. He and I have conversations every night. I'm gonna ask him.
I
He
don't
just be
know.
letting anything on the ark. Anything got to come on the ark. He was like,
God was angry when he created the
He really
Australian
said-
spiders.
And
He
his
said,
answer is
"Want
going
two
to
of
be
everything?"
the same reason I made your cat that big.
What, you fed it too much. It ate your steak.
Oh,
It's
it's
Wild.
God's gonna be like, oh yeah, your cat.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
your mama, but
Octavius.
Your cat. You look.
He's
so
gonna be,
happy.
I love your cat the same amount I love that spider.
Oh my goodness.
Which is like
I think
really,
it'd be
really hard for me to wrap my head around. I'm like, for real?
Which part?
He do.
Him loving a cat as much as he
Same.
loves a
The
spider.
spider.
Well, he created us humans in his image, but everything else was just I don't know. But look,
Never purpose.
when it comes to mosquitoes or leeches, those are the
You let
two
two
things
of
I
them on
can't
too?
stand. I say that's conclusive proof that God can make mistakes because he made leeches and mosquitoes. But
I think he
Anyway.
just got a real good sense of humor. He's like, you know what would be funny to watch from up here? Throw a couple of them on the boat too.
Peyton, are you okay? You look like you've been traumatized.
I
You
am just thinking
traumatized
about
her.
mosquitoes and leeches makes me think about my number one fear.
What is that?
I don't know if we ever had this conversation. I am gonna vomit.
Maybe don't bring it up.
Get a bucket.
Ticks.
Or the paralysis ones.
Yo.
No,
I had a
any of
cousin
them.
who got paralyzed because one had buried itself in.
Lyme
I don't know if she was
disease.
fully paralyzed. She was definitely in the hospital. Her legs
Yeah.
stopped working. It had buried itself in so deep.
Yeah.
She was at the
Oh
hospital
my
and they finally did a full check and they popped that thing off. Girl, that's why when you go
Yeah.
on the sticks, you got to put duct tape on backwards around your pant legs. So if they
And
climb
you
up, they
know
get
I live
stuck.
in the sticks. You know I live in the sticks.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm pretty sure my mom found one on me not too long ago, and I was like, "Hey, mom, I got a weird mole. You're gonna have to come get this." This
Mole's
was recent.
moving.
This was recent. No, it was not moving.
They
I
get
said,
stuck.
You're gonna have to come look at this for me. And she was like, "Peyton, it's probably just a mole." I was like, "No, Denise, come closer. I think something's on my
Denise?
shoulder." And she got real close and she goes, "It's just a mole. I'm gonna cut it off." I said, "You better." And
Mhm.
so she did cut it off of me. She burned it off of me.
Mhm.
And then after it was away from me, was I able to vomit and freak out at the fact that it was a tick.
Don't they give you Lyme disease?
They can.
Some.
And Rocky
Some.
Mountain fever and all of the other things I'm scared of.
And Miss North Hampshire volunteer Sophie Sargent, she has Lyme disease, and it came from having ticks. The ticks that we have here are so bad. If one gets on a cat, it can kill it. My
I'm
cat
not coming to
Bob,
Australia. I take it all back.
my cat Bob, he's an idiot. He's like what we call like survivally challenged. Anytime there's something that would kill him, he goes straight to it. He's an indoor cat because we have ticks around here. One day the bathroom window was open a bit too much. He jumps out. I go to find him about 24 hours later. Not a big deal, but I knew he's exactly the sort of cat, kind of like Morgan. He walked face first, not into a thing of hornets, but into a thing of baby ticks. He comes back and he's got like multiple ones of them on him, embedded in him. And I had to take him to the vet. And by the
And
way,
leave
the
him
thing
there.
No, thank you.
yeah, but the thing that cures them of tick paralysis is also so toxic that it can kill them. So the first time it's normally okay, but if they get ticks again, the second time they have the serum, it has an increased chance of killing the cat. And so you don't want them to be having to go there. But I will say my vet has a little container tube of ticks, dead ticks, on its counter so people can know what they look like. But yeah, they're not pleasant creatures, and ticks, leeches, the things that we have here. But I mean, look,
I could do a leech. I could do a mosquito. I could do a spider. I can do a snake. I could do roach.
Oh
Do
no.
it. Rats. Don't care. The other thing.
No, I don't mind roaches. What I don't like about roaches is we have ones
Morgan.
that fly here. They fly.
What's
and they
the other
fly right
thing?
at your face.
No,
The tick.
Morgan.
What's the other thing?
You okay? What we were
I don't
just
know.
discussing.
Yes. Gianna, help.
Is there another thing you're scared of?
I don't know how
No,
to distract
Morgan, the
them.
thing that we were just discussing is what she's afraid of.
There's another one.
Stop making the poor girl sweat. You've gone red in your cheeks. Are you okay?
I don't like them.
I don't like
It's
roaches.
fine. It's fine. Put
No
some
one
ice on
likes
your neck.
roaches. I mean, there's weird people out there, but if someone out there likes roaches, please let us know and never watch us again.
I actually
Anyway,
feel bad for my neighbors because I used to scream every time I found one in my apartment in New York City. Like it was like screeching at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
if you're screeching when you find a roach in New York City, how do you have a voice?
Well, okay, then I guess I didn't have that many, and but it was enough to it kept me up at night.
Yeah.
Some nights, if I
You don't see as many roaches in New York as you see freaking rats, dog. Going to Chinatown permanently traumatized me. They are everywhere. We went to the park in Chinatown and the old heads, like the old people were sitting out there. Normally you'll see old people feeding pigeons. They were throwing food down and the rats were running up, grabbing it and running away. I was
The rats are
done.
cuter.
No,
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. I thought New York rats are almost the size of Peyton's cat.
They are.
Aren't
But
they?
that's what makes him so cute.
They'll come up to
Oh.
you, beat you up, and take your purse. So that's what I thought about New York rats.
My
That's what
girl
I'd
over
heard
here,
about them.
she said Ratatouille. They are adorable. They freak me
Ratatouille.
out.
That's
Boy,
so
they are
good.
the size of people's
Ratatouille is not
chihuahuas.
real. Ratatouille is not a documentary. It's not a a nature special. It's a
Ask
cartoon.
Geanna. She says they're cute. Okay.
Well, because like they don't come up as close to you as roaches, okay?
They
That's
don't.
true. Roaches don't
really
care.
do invade your privacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
They really
have you guys
do.
ever seen? Do you have squirrels?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Who doesn't have squirrels?
We- no. I mean, we don't in Australia. But when I was over in the UK, you see these squirrels everywhere,
Squirrels.
and I thought, oh, they're so cute. And so you go down, me being me, I'm an animal person. It's like, oh, I'm going to feed them. I'm going to bend down. It's running towards me. And then I saw a sign that's saying, don't feed the squirrels. And then I saw someone next to me, this young woman who had gone that step, actually had food. And she was down there, and they had all jumped on her, and she was wearing a hoodie, and they were going down her hoodie, and she was running away screaming. And I was like, oh, that's why you're not supposed to feed them.
Do you want to hear
Okay.
something really morbid? Some people in the
Maybe.
South like to
Eat
hunt
squirrels?
squirrels and eat
Yeah.
them.
How is that morbid?
I
That's
knew that.
survival.
Yeah.
I
I've heard
mean,
that.
it's normal
I
for
would
my
think there's a lot
family.
of-
I think it is kind of messed up, though. They're pretty cute.
I had
Eh.
squirrel for the first time unknowingly a couple of months ago.
I'm not eating squirrel, bro.
Oh.
I draw the line at giblets and gravy.
I said I
like-
wasn't eating squirrel either, and it was given to me and called chicken, and I ate the taco, and then I was
don't-
like, "What is this little bit here?" And it was actually like
A nut.
gunshot. Like I almost broke a tooth. It was
Never listen to the chicken bit. It's always a lie.
yeah.
Everything tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken. I
Gator
will
does.
say, I mean, if you
Gator
ever
does.
want a culinary adventure, go to a Chinese restaurant. Just don't ask what it is, for the love
You
of God.
Boy, they be giving you sesame chicken. Chicken ain't that color. I know y'all
No.
lying to me because I saw a dead raccoon on the side of the road 45 minutes ago, and now it's gone, and my chicken is suspicious. Y'all lying to me, but it's good. They
My
season the crap
favorite-
out of it.
My favorite meme is when there's a Chinese restaurant that's next door to a vet. Tell me, Mom, where do animals go when they go to die? Don't ask. Are you hungry, by the way?
Y'all want some crispy fried chicken?
Well, it's when my brother, my family just came back from Hong Kong. I was stuck here looking after the animals. But there's something called, I don't know if you guys know what English is, but it's like English that's horrifically misspelled because it was done by some Chinese person using auto-translate. And this is a thing that I have with my brother. It drives us like crazy, like in terms of laughing because we find it hilarious. But he sent me one particularly messed up menu item, and it said like mystery meat noodles. It said mysterious meat noodles. I'm like, what? There's anywhere I'm not eating mysterious meat. It's gonna be in a Chinese restaurant. Like, no, I need to know, where did this meat come from? Like, did
Don't
you just
ask
cut a
questions.
part of yourself off, or
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell. You know that thing would slap. That'd be the best daggum noodles you ever ate in your life. But also, when I went into Chinatown and saw all them things hanging in the windows, I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah, that's why. Like,
Put it
I'm
on a
pretty.
plate.
I had a former Miss Universe Great Britain coming over with us, and the first time we took her to a restaurant was a Chinese one, and she's very picky about food. Well, I don't picky for compared to me. I'll pretty much eat anything, although I do have one particularly traumatizing story. But what I didn't realize, you go to a Chinese restaurant and they'll serve you a fish, but it's a whole fish, right? So it's been steamed and they bring out the whole fish. Some people can't stand to see the fish head and the fish tail. They can only see the cutlets of fish. And so she couldn't eat that. Also, when we serve a duck or something like that, that's what I think, Morgan, you're talking about. Like, sometimes they hang up the duck in the window to glaze it.
That ain't
It's really
right.
they roast duck. And sometimes you'll see heads. If they serve pigeon, there's a pigeon head there. And I'm used to it because we're Chinese, but I didn't realize how different that is to like a Western restaurant. But I'll pretty much eat anything at this stage. Although I don't think I've tried squirrel before. What? Squirrel's like chicken, is it?
Speaking of eating,
I don't know. I haven't tried it. You can come to South Carolina, and I'm sure I can get you some. But
I thought it was chicken.
You're not going to run it over, are you, and then feed it to me?
No, I'd have someone in my family just
Clean it.
Pew pew.
and then cook it.
Thank
and
you for the semaphore.
then
And then-
Yeah.
Where did we get to?
I don't remember.
Me, I last.
Peyton, yeah, she hasn't told us her
Oh yes.
hot take.
I have, but we were talking about suppositories.
No, you were talking about suppositories.
On
You
accident.
brought it back up, Adrian. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Like a suppository coming back up. All right, so Peyton, go.
Okay, so mine is getting rid. You guys are talking about bringing things back. Getting rid of performative advocacies. I love that pageantry gives us a platform to advocate for something that we believe in strongly, or even that some systems have a specific platform that they want the girls to advocate for because it's something as a whole that they all believe in. I think that that's fabulous. But I think being told that you have to have an advocacy and pulling something out of thin air or something that you relate to and you advocate for it while you have the title or while you're chasing the title, and as soon as that time period is over, you don't talk about it ever again. You never post on that advocacy page ever again. You have no idea what anybody is talking about in the media around that advocacy, etc. I think that it's sad. I think that maybe you're in the wrong system if you feel like you have to do that and it's not something you're actually passionate about. I do believe that the women stepping into pageantry, intelligent, kind-hearted, empathetic women that we are, you do have something that you feel strongly towards. And I think you should be able to advocate for it. I think that's a part of growing as a woman, is finding a platform to stand on and speaking your mind one way or the other, whether it's an experience of yours, an experience of somebody else's, or just something you believe in. I think that you should be able to stand on what you believe, and the performativeness of it all is gross.
Yeah.
Preach.
I had one. There was a situation over here with a system, and all of the girls who came. I know this because I was there and I interviewed them in person. All of them, was like 20 back-to-back interviews, shorter interviews, and none of them really had any advocacy, and none of them really knew anything about pageants, and I couldn't work out why. And then I realized it's because the pageant had sourced all their contestants, in inverted commas, from a modeling agency. And so they gotten all these models in to this pageant, and none of them had any idea about. And the whole thing was supposed to be about ending the trafficking of children, the sex slave trade that's going on here in Southeast Asia, which is a terrible story. And so what happened is the girls get in, don't really know anything about advocacies, but they know they're supposed to have one. And they look at someone who has one and they just copy it. And it's because I don't think they understand the why of it. And I think this is when the directors have to bear some element of the blame. It's like, you guys need to, like in an orientation night, I don't know if you guys have one, but lay out some expectations. It's like, okay, but also, by the way, what you can expect from me as a director. So I'm here to do X, Y, Z. If you have any problems, please let me know. Here are the channels you go through. But you also say, here's the expectations of you guys. And by the way, if the pageant, to what Peyton said, isn't the right fit for you, that's fine. There will be a pageant for you. Here's your money back. We wish you good luck. You need, but at the moment, this comes back to what we talked about earlier about the interest in pageantry going down, so there's less money. I think some people are just like, oh, we'll take money, we'll take money, we'll take money. Yeah. More entrance is more money. And you end up, and there's no filter. And we end up with a whole bunch of people who can't motivate anyone to do anything. And look, I say this as someone who wrote a book on mental health and hit #1 on Amazon. So I can say this with some degree of authority. The most overused ones tend to be, at the moment, mental health, right? There's another one that I was thinking about, but I can't remember. I don't mean mental health in terms of you can't speak about mental health, but if you're going to speak about mental health, it better be very specific to you, a lived experience, and please know what you're talking about. Because the worst thing you can do is put out misinformation about something as sensitive as mental health and then make someone worse. But don't pick something because it's hot. Because I really think mental health is the big one at the moment. There are probably some other ones that are very overused. But I will say, as soon as I hear about I'm advocating for mental health, I've gotten to the point now where it's so saturated. I just like saying, well, no one's advocating for mental illness. No one is saying being mentally ill is a good thing. Of course, we want you to be mentally well, but tell me specifically which aspect. Are we talking about having ADHD, OCD, depression, anxiety? Because, by the way, those are all different. They're not lumped under one blanket term. And then are you advocating for awareness, which, okay, that's all right. But what about practical solutions?
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to just talk about, you should be aware of this, you should be aware of that, because I don't like that. Because I feel like I can't be aware of everything in the world. And quite frankly, I spend a lot of my time turning things off because there's too much noise. So I would go one step further than awareness and actually talk about, well, what do you want me to do? So if it's mental health, what are the resources? Point me to some good people. Well, tell me more about your journey, understanding that your journey is specific to you. But I will say with performative advocacies, not everyone thinks that pageantry should even have advocacy. Because I put a reel on my Instagram, it's probably my most shared reel, that had one of my friends, Gracie Pfaff, talking about her biggest pet peeve in the industry is performative advocacies. And I had an Australian title from over here, title holder, say that, kind of think that, well, all advocacies in pageantry are kind of performative anyway. And so we should just not really expect girls to do anything about it. I don't agree with that. My friends didn't agree with it. She had an argument with them on my post and then unfollowed me. So hello. But there are some people who think that advocacies are just pointless. So what do you guys think about
that? Sad. I think that comes from the performative advocacies. I think that comes from the lack of heart behind what you're trying to advocate for. I think that is what has poo-pooed everybody on the advocacy.
Bro, there was one system a few years ago that they made all of their title holders record for their thing. They made them all record the exact same video with pretty much the exact same message. You can tell they're reading a script behind the camera like this. It is the most these women are checked out, and they literally did it because they were told they had to do it in one of the few pageant systems I'm aware of where you don't have to have anything if you don't want to. There are plenty of people who do this system because they don't want to have a service initiative or a call to action or anything else. Like, that's what waters it down. And then the whole mental health situation, the reason why it's hot is because for the past 4 years, all you've heard, pretty much anyone who doesn't know what else to have an initiative for has said, well, I was bullied. Okay, we all were, bro. Everybody got bullied at some point in your life. Like you said, either be a lot more specific with me on what you got bullied for, or find something else to care about that actually you can relate to. But it's because everything's getting so freaking watered down, dude. And then you have a lot of people who make up their own serve initiative, and then you've never heard of it. There's just it's a lot, dog. It's a lot, and it all feels very, not all of it. You can tell who actually has conviction about it. And then you can tell the people who are literally just like, this is my thing and I do this and I'm going to help these people. Donate here. Bro, what? Yeah. It's. But yeah, that's why everyone thinks it's freaking just fake and no one cares, is because there have been systems that have made y'all literally say these pre-recorded things for something you don't, not saying you don't care about it in like a mean way, but you've got your own thing.
Yeah, that goes right back to our point in saying that these systems have this standard for perfection of woman.
Exactly.
This is what we think they mean by that, and maybe that is creating this advocacy that fits into this box exactly how it fits so that you can get the title. I think we need to just relax, let people be authentic to who they are, let them advocate for what they truly believe in. And we as title holders have to step into that role confidently, right? We can't be afraid to step out of the box, to color outside of the lines. We can't be afraid that, oh no, well, if I don't do this, I'm not going to win said national title. Do you want it then?
Yeah.
If you have to be somebody else, do you want it then?
Well, that's why I feel like sometimes the more like seasoned pageant girls are the more like hesitant ones to actually commit to an advocacy sometimes.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the girls that are like coming into a system like Earth USA from a background where they actually are doing that is very different where from the pageant girls that are doing it just to do a pageant and just to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think like you guys were saying, the other pageant systems that have specific advocacies, you can very clearly see the line between the girls that joined it because they have a passion for it, or the girls that joined it because they're like, oh, this is a pageant that I want to do, and then I'm gonna just make it up as I go.
Yeah.
And I will say too, don't feel like you have to have one. Like if your system requires it, that's a different situation. Then obviously, yeah, babe, you might need to find something to be passionate about and to raise awareness for. But if you're doing a system that doesn't require it, bro, don't force it if you don't want to have one. And there's nothing wrong. I will straight up say I competed in the USA system at the state level twice. I never had anything that I advocated for. I never did any of that stuff. And that doesn't make you a less deserving human for not doing it. You can be
Or
very
less qualified.
accomplished. Yeah, you can be very accomplished and have all of these awesome accolades and attributes about you. And that one thing that maybe you don't do doesn't make you less of a human. And if you go into a system and you don't have something and they don't require it and then win the title and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Like, I see some solid injustices happening. I want to start speaking up about this because I have a platform to do so. Dope. But also, if not, cool. It's not, I feel like a lot of times they feel like they have to just force it because they see that there's a sister queen in a different state talking about something and they're like, okay, well, I have a thing too.
Yeah.
You don't have to, bro. It's cool. We're not judging you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's one of the things because it's like, well, when does a passion become an advocacy? I mean, I think you do need to have passions, otherwise you're just a very, very boring person. But when does it actually become an advocacy, for example? But I will say that's also what I like about the volunteer system in terms of it, at least from my understanding, Peyton, I could be wrong on this, but they actually log how many volunteer hours in some cases, because there are some service awards, and they're not done for the most heart-rending advocacy. It's done all because you volunteered 1,000 hours. I think the girl who won the advocacy, the woman who won the advocacy award, there's almost like presidential service. It's not that, but someone, and I interviewed her. It was Claudia Engelhardt, who formerly ran the social media for Miss USA, and she won some award on stage. I think it was for 10,000. I could be mistaken, but 10,000 service hours, and there was a log of it. Right, she had done it, and so that to me is, I love that because it's so material, like concrete. It's not about talking about, oh, I really want to help the starving people here. It's like, no, she's dedicated 10,000 hours logged of her time to a specific organization. And I just think that's so much better than, oh, here's my advocacy. Yes, Miss Christen?
Something else to expand upon that, something that really chaps my gears, is girls feeling like they need to go to an event and post about the event. And I have seen this with my own two eyes, and I've got 20/20 vision. I know I was not seeing something else. Going to events
You've got glasses on, Peyton.
These are blue light blockers. Okay, I'm on a computer all day long. I work in healthcare. I'm trying to save myself. I see very well, I promise. That's funny. I didn't even realize. But no, going to these events that their directors suggested them to, or the national board said, this is a good idea. If anybody's free this day, if you'd like to go here. I have seen so many women show up, crown and sash, take a picture and dip. And that is almost worse to me than the performative advocacies, is the performative service. I don't want to see the picture if you didn't really put in the time, if you didn't really make the connections with the people, if you didn't really support whatever event was going on. I don't want to see the picture. Don't post it, because you might as well have not been there. That's
really
not
I think that's spreading a lie. I'm gonna say that
it is,
because you're giving a very false impression of what you've done. Everyone seeing that photo will assume that you actually spent some time there and did something. And I also say the whole thing about wearing the crown and sash, I'm not a huge, I get why they exist. And they're shiny things, and a lot of you love shiny things. But I think in some circumstances it's inappropriate to be wearing them. And even getting the photo is you have to be very careful. Like if there are minors or there's someone who could potentially be stalked or abused, I would so much rather, because I feel like as soon as you put your armor on, your uniform on, then we become like, can you just go in there and be a normal person, especially if you're doing something like volunteering at a soup kitchen, going into a DV shelter, or working with someone with special needs? How about, rather than standing there with this and this, how about you get down on their level, kneel down if you have to? And I've done this because I work with kids, and like you connect with them.
Yes.
You're there to connect. And sure, if the crown and sash doesn't get in the way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear them. But sometimes I feel that certain people go there and the first thing they go is, oh, where can I take a photo? That's your concern? You want the perfect photo? What about you go and find out what's actually needed? What if it's, for example, if it's a charity, find out about the work of the charity. And I will say, Haley told me about this from her Miss Earth experience. They went to a certain place and she was asking about the work, and she was genuinely having a conversation about the work they did. That's what I want to see. I want to see you guys going there, finding out about something that would be in your local community, right? And going, okay, why does this charity or why does this event exist? What help are you doing? Who are the key players? Go and say, thank you for having me. Is there any way I can help? Can we have a photo together so I can help spread awareness? Doing that rather than going, where's the Instagram wall?
It's so tone deaf, dude.
Yeah.
It's so tone deaf. And honestly, I know it's not always ill-intended. And I know that, sometimes people from rough situations, whether it be like a DV shelter or like a soup kitchen or a hospital, I know that sometimes seeing the princess, seeing the pretty girl with the crown on her head and the sash, it excites them and it makes them feel great. But also, just like you see those videos on TikTok where it's like they're helping a homeless person or whatever,
it feels icky.
It feels
It's the
icky.
same
It
vibe.
feels icky to me. It's not a photo op for you. If you feel called and convicted to help someone, by all means do it. Absolutely do it. What you don't need to do is continuously document the process while you're doing it. And that's one thing I, again, appreciate about the volunteer system is they rewarded that woman for the hours that she logged, not for the amount of Instagram posts she made about it. These people don't want to be put on the spotlight when they're in some of the worst times of their lives. Go and help them if you're called to help them. And if they want to take a picture with you, iconic, yes, then post it if they give you permission and they're like, can we take a picture? 100%. But like, no, it feels incredibly tone deaf to me. If you're going to do like a soup kitchen situation and you're going to post a photo, at least do it where the people that you're helping have their back turned to the camera. So you're not at least seeing their face. Like y'all know that TikTok sound where it's like, ooh, why you lying? You're always lying. Nope, nobody knows it. Okay, well, it's
we know it.
We know it.
Yeah, we know.
We know it.
Y'all glitched on me at the same time. Hi, humans.
Oh, hey, we were all going, yes.
We were bopping along. Going,
all three of y'all's little screens went black and then came right back on. Might have been my Wi-Fi. Yeah, no, that's I would love to have somebody just put that to so many people's Instagram pages. Not really, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but simultaneously we can tell when y'all are faking it. And y'all are faking it.
And you just hope the judges see that, right? Like from a title holder, like,
but they
don't.
Like,
I know. And that's all you can do is hope that they do see it, because otherwise it looks like that person is doing way more than the rest of us, when in reality, we are probably have double the amount of service hours as them, but without, like what volunteer does, without the documentation, there is no proof. Go
Geanna.
Get them, girl.
Wait, but that goes back to kind of, we were talking a little bit about this before, like with the wish list, and I'm bringing in like a new one kind of, but just because it relates to that, but having judges that know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
Now you're asking for too much, right? That's way too much. We can't possibly have judges judge you guys, know what they're doing, even though you've given like the entire year of service. No, we're going to bring in someone who used to be on a reality TV show that no one ever remembers and no one cares about. And they're going, oh, I picked the prettiest girl.
Exactly. So, because they're not going to pick up on the fake advocacies, but
No.
someone who's in the industry might. So
That
just
part. That
Can-
part.
can-
that's
I
what
just-
it reminded
can
me
I
of when you said that.
Can I put this out there? I think a lot of this, and I know directors hate it when I say this, I say, again, the onus is on the director, the responsibility. We need fewer directors, and I know they're out there, and I can hear you breathing. And if you think it's about you, it's about you. There are too many directors out there who get into it because they are control freaks, they are narcissists, and they want everything to be about them. This is the thing that I love most about Tom, is because he's approaching it from a point of service. And there's a strategic plan in place, and he enunciates on the reasons why they're doing things, right? But when you go in there and you're a control freak, now you're telling the girls what to wear, what they have to advocate for, how they're not allowed to, when they're allowed to breathe, and when they're. And I'm like, hang on. I thought this was about women's empowerment. Empowerment literally means you can do whatever you put your mind to. It doesn't mean you got to do what I say. Last time I checked, that's not empowerment. And so I think, because I like doing this, because it's like we're talking about good stuff, but like, how do we actually make it happen? If the directors come from a place of service, not from being attention seekers and drama queens, then we have a chance. Because someone will look at it and go, all right, like if I got you guys to say, okay, how are we going to make sure that the advocacies, if we had them in our pageant, let's brainstorm, right, hypothetically, and be like, oh, how can we make sure that the right people, in inverted commas, get rewarded or acknowledged? It's not difficult, guys, to come up with a list of ways that we can check. It's not. So why doesn't that exist? It's because the director didn't make it so. Why did the director not make it so? In Tom's case, okay, even though he did it on such short notice, right? Sometimes there's not enough time. But if you really want a pageant that's about service, you need to bake it in. And you can't let people bluff, because the saddest thing to me, Peyton, is when a girl does all the work and it really was work because it's really important to her and it never goes noticed. And then the person who won faked it the whole way. And then she never does it again. And then you wonder, why don't people come back? Why on earth would I come back if I did all this work for you that you said was important and no one recognized it? And you picked the one girl, probably bullied everyone as well, has veneers, plastic this, plastic that. No, you know, I'm not saying anything, but it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, why would you want? Why would I go back to a system where you snubbed me when I did all the work, and you awarded it to the completely fake vacuous person? And it's like, okay, we can say the judges don't know what they're doing, but who picks the judges?
Right.
The directors.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think that goes straight back to our first point, this whole entire conversation. Let the girls be themselves and let that be rewarded, and task the judges with finding a girl who is authentic and completely herself and doesn't feel like she has to apologize for what that is, but also a girl that you can trust to represent the brand that you are trying to present to the people.
We need that balance.
Yes.
You
We
can
need
have
that
both.
balance.
You can have both. You
can
actually
have
can have it
both.
all. You actually can have it all.
Have your cake and eat it too. Surprisingly enough, that's possible.
Because those girls are out there, because I've met them. I know them. They're some of my best friends. And they are some of the most deserving people. And some of them have won the crown. You know, in this, I mean, and nothing makes you happier. That is all you root for all year, and then it happens for them. And nothing makes you happier than to see a girl that deserved it, put in the work, and is completely herself, and gets the crown in the end. That is why I'm still in pageantry, is because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% agree. And you know, I say it's like when the right person wins, right being in inverted commas, but I get very happy when the right person wins. Very often in pageantry, I get also very confused when I see some winners, and I'm like, hang on, I thought you guys said you were about XYZ. That person has none of them. How on earth did she win? And I'm like, sometimes you don't want to ask, because you know the answer is never going to be one that you want to hear. But I like that, because I do agree, Peyton. I think all of this really goes back to our first point. And that's why I think there is a chance that it can happen, but there are certain people who old, and I don't want Morgan to go off on a tangent about being old again, but I don't mean old physically. I mean old in terms of being in here. And I think old is when you stop wanting to grow.
Mhm.
I had a conversation with Peyton about this on our phone call. It's about when you come from a place where the big needs for you are certainty and significance, right? When you need to control everyone and everything has to be about you, that's not going to end up a good pageant.
Mm-mm.
I want the director to basically be invisible. If I was ever running a pageant, you'd know me as a contestant, but I don't want to be every photo on the pageant page and you're like, look at me, look at me, look at me. No, you
Can
should know I'm
we,
available and I
Getting
should
on
help
stage.
you.
Can we
Okay,
take a second to acknowledge that Tom never once had that camera panned to him at the Miss USA pageant? Never once. They never said, shout out to our director, and it cuts to Tom and everyone's staring at. Never once. That man said, let it be about these women, and he stood on business with that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
more
that's
of
why I had
that.
such a good conversation with him, because we touched on things like that, and I'm glad to see that he's actually doing it, because it's very easy to talk about it. It's harder to do it. We've lost Peyton. I mean, it was good to have Peyton here for an hour and a half, because that's probably better than what we normally get, and we had no tech difficulties. But that might be a sign that it's good to begin wrapping up. Geanna, can you not hear me anymore? You look worried. I think Gianna's lost.
Geanna,
I can't hear him again. I'm gonna
can you
leave and
hear
come back.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
She can hear me.
I was about
Okay.
to message. I was gonna leave and come back.
I
I
can
can't
tell.
hear again.
Okay. Morgan, tell her to leave and come
Leave
back.
and come back.
Okay, sorry.
Well, Morgan,
It's you and me. And
what's that song?
all
Just
the
the two of us.
people with nothing to do. Yeah, that is one thing I love about Tom, though, is I feel like, I mean, he's been in pageantry for so long that, and I think he's just seen the evolution of it over years and years, that he has seen all of the things that we're talking about even, and he's just
Yeah.
been like, this isn't fair, this isn't right, they're not doing this correctly. And when the opportunity arose and he was finally able to be put into a position to make those changes, he meant it. Like, he was like, this is what we're gonna see now. Welcome back.
We're back.
I'm so sorry.
We're back, baby.
Well, it was a
Freaking
good
back.
whilst it lasted, Peyton. That we'd had no technical issues for about an hour and a half, and that's as good as it's going to get. I mean, we'll move towards a close because we've been talking for a while. But
I like that.
here's the other thing, Morgan. We were talking about Tom, and it's like everything that he said. When you think about it, it's not super complicated, is it? It's really just about being a good person who wants to serve rather than be the
Yes.
center of attention. This is why I think directors need to have some sort of I mean, how many hoops do you guys need to go through before you compete in a pageant? Oh, what's your date of birth? What's your marital status? Have you ever been pregnant? How tall are you? How much do you weigh? And on and on and on. Where do you live? Where have you lived previously? Have you ever? It's like, okay, fine. What about you guys, the directors? Have you ever been bankrupt?
Yeah.
Do you have a working with children check? Do you have people who can vouch for your character? Have all these things. So I really don't understand sometimes. Like, you guys the contestants have to jump through so many hoops. Anyone with money can become a director. I will tell you now, that's not going to end well. So that's why I love what Tom said. But at the same time, it's like, just makes sense. Put the girls first.
Mhm.
It's like, put your customers first. It's like if you go to a restaurant and they tell you to sit down, shut up, we're going to feed you what we want and you're going to like it. I don't know that restaurant's going to do very well. But sometimes I feel pageants are run like that. Like, here's the rules, you're going to do this and you're going to be happy and you're going to enjoy it and then you're going to thank us for it afterwards. Maybe not. Yo, Morgan, go.
I know that you and I can relate to this on a different level because we are on the opposite side of the pageant world. But the way that I have been, first of all, empowering women doesn't necessarily always mean empowering all women. And I've realized that in the pageant world now. The amount of times I've had to be the skeleton in my client's closet because their director won't let them. I'm not asking you to post me on your state page if I'm not a state sponsor and that's not allowed. That's cool, bro. But like, if they're doing a workout of mine in the gym, they can't take a cute little story pic and tag me in it because their director doesn't want them to. They can't wear a certain dress because their director doesn't want them to. I've had clients who've been state title holders and their director have said, here are your 2 evening gown options for nationals, left or right pick. and that's the only option they get. Like, it's one thing that I think we can see now is the current Miss USA, bruh, she's living her best life. Like, she is doing her thing, and I think that she's able to do it freely. I think that Tom is working to open doors and opportunities for her, but I think that she's been allowed to make collaborative posts with people who may or may not be sponsors at the national level. But these directors are, some of them are incredible and they care so much and they love so much. But those are also the ones that I think allow these women a lot more freedoms than other state title holders in, you know, multiple systems. I think some of these directors just really get off on playing God. I think that they really enjoy, they're playing Barbie with a real life human. And you're not allowing these women to show up as their authentic selves because they are too scared that if they do, you will rip that title from their heads.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's intimidating sometimes to be around, let's say if you're an older person, an older man or an older woman, it can be intimidating to be surrounded by women who are ambitious, intelligent, articulate. They know more than you, they're hungrier, they wanted more than you, and they can see through all your lies. And some people don't have a good reaction to that, right? It's really simple. I mean, at the end of the day, pageantry is all about the people. It's not about the system. I really do think your director will be your experience of the pageant. And that's why I keep saying, like, it's the directors, and people will say, oh, I'm putting too much on the directors. I'm like, I have no sympathy for directors other than, yes, sometimes it can be difficult to work with people. But I mean, that's any job, right? But it's you chose to be this director. I don't think anyone held you at gunpoint and forced you. And so, you know, you've got to put the women first. I don't see why that's difficult. And I would love to help. I think if I was a director, I'd see it as my job to help my title holder grow. It'd be my first conversation with, how can I help you? That should be my first conversation. Not, you must do this. You can only go to that person for coaching, that person. And I will say, because I've worked with a lot of pageant people, and I will often say, look, I don't expect you to mention that you work with me because I know how sometimes that's a problem in the pageant world. But I also think it's kind of sad that I have to say that, right? And I will say most of the people I work with, they mention me anyway. And sometimes my first reaction is like, oh, I hope that doesn't get anyone in trouble. Because if I work with you on interview, I'm also not the sort of person who will take all the credit for your success. Can I just say that? So, you're amazingly in shape. That's because of me. Don't think so. I think it's because she went to the gym at 6 a.m. every morning. Nothing to do with you. You might have given her some information. But that's the other thing that I really dislike is when coaches are credit hogs. I will say, and we'll wrap up on this, there was a system over in the UK who took on an official pageant coach. And they also added the stipulation. She had a mutual exclusivity agreement. Work with her, you're not allowed to work with anyone else. To even complete our screwed up circle, she was in on the pageant judging panel. This needs to stop. I don't think I need to explain why that's a bad idea. And I get sponsored coaches in terms of, okay, we have a sponsored coach. If you go to them, they give you a discount or they give you a free session. But it should never be you have to go to them. They should never be on the judging panel. They should never receive any preferential treatment. A girl should not be judged based on who she's been coached by or whose dress she's wearing. Can I also say that I was told a story of not only was there an official pageant dress sponsored, but you had to go and spend money, right, to buy the dress, and the prices had been knocked up astronomically. And she found the dress somewhere else because she had a friend who owns a dress store who could have gotten it for like half the price or 1/3 of the price. But she had to buy it from the sponsor. And by the way, when she went to the sponsor and ummed and ahed about buying the dress because she knew it was overpriced, the sponsor then had a go at her and went off her rocker. This is all backwards. The contestants come first.
It's the reason why we're here and not here.
I mean, are they egotistical contestants? Sure. No one's perfect. But I think it comes from the top. And I think the people in charge need to start taking more responsibility. They need to be able to explain their actions. They need to be transparent. And we talked about live scoring, all of these things. The fewer places there are for people like that to hide, the better this industry gets. The better the industry gets, more people will want to watch it. And then we are on a positive cycle upwards, right? Which is how we started this whole conversation. And I'm hoping that maybe 2026 can be the year we start doing that, because it's been going down the drain, circling the drain, I think, for far too long. Anyway, before we wrap it up, my intent was to make this a short, sharp, snappy episode and keep it under an hour, and we are now going on 2 hours, and about half of that time was talking about suppositories because of Peyton. Before we wrap up, what have we got happening over, let's say, the next week, or Geanna, whatever you got coming up, because obviously, you're sitting in for Haley. But why don't we go to you first, Geanna? Do you have anything coming up in the next, whatever you want to talk about?
A little bit. I mean, I teach Greek dance. So my kids are having a competition coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. So I'm in like full dance teacher freak out mode.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of like my little thing on the side that I do, because I grew up doing that. So I'm very excited. I think we're prepped, but the snow might mess up our weekend schedule, but we'll see. It's fine. It's fine. It'll all work out. I did their music early this year. I'm a bit of a procrastinator when it comes to that sometimes. So that's ready. That's ready. The routine is ready. It's just cleaning it up.
It'll be iconic.
Thanks. Wish us luck.
Best of luck. Morgan, what have you got coming up?
Next weekend, we are going to be in New Orleans. I am going to a ball. It is super nerdy, so I'm not going to indulge into what kind of a ball it is. Just know it's nerdy, but your girl is going to be dressed. I've got a really gorgeous Alexander McQueen gown that I'm wearing. I got my little red bottoms over here.
That's not a nerdy outfit.
Not Alexander McQueen.
Alexander McQueen, Prada, Gucci, Chanel. I have got a makeup artist secured because I don't know outside of one time if my mom's ever had her makeup professionally done, and she's coming with my husband and I. So I've got a makeup artist secured.
That's cute.
Keep an eye out. I have been really bad at posting on social media, but I am hoping to really be stepping out and living my best life on my Instagram story on January 31st.
I'm watching. I'm waiting and watching.
Keep an eye.
Why are we going for a not a Dairy Queen, Waffle House sponsorship? Wouldn't you guys rather have like an Alexander McQueen or a Lou? No, you want
have
the
both.
waffle.
One's food, one's wardrobe sponsor.
Again, you can have it all.
Yeah.
At this point, if you eat it all, you'll be so big you won't be able to wear any of it. But that's okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
The dichotomy of one.
Balance.
Listen, Waffle House, Alexander McQueen.
Balance, baby.
It's all about balance.
Body by Alexander McQueen and dress by Waffle House. Maybe that wouldn't work so well.
Flip it.
The little hat, everything.
It's gonna be iconic.
Oh, they have hats, do they?
They do for the kiddos.
Oh
Or
my
the
God.
adultos.
I want
Yeah,
one.
or me. It's better than the or the Burger King crowns. It's way better than that. There's like paper in the middle. It's like a little chef hat. So cute.
Ah.
They're
I
yellow.
really need to go and take in the Waffle House when I'm over there. I need to go and have a culinary adventure, a cultural experience by the sound of things, and hopefully not get food poisoning. But then, we can use suppositories.
I'll bring
Okay.
the Imodium.
It'll be great. We're all gonna go out together.
Peyton, what have you got coming up for the next week other than recreating the scene from Ghost with your clay wheel?
Oh my gosh. I still need to watch that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Next week, I just hope that I have power. I do. That winter storm that's coming in. Georgia, batten down your hatches. I mean, as long as it actually pans out, because it could be nothing. You never know. You literally never know in the South. Texas got the brunt of that not too long ago with their ice storm. That was pretty bad for Texas. So I just hope it's not that bad.
If you lose heat, just climb under your cat.
Yeah, I'll
Seek
go in the
refuge in
barn
his
with
fur.
the ponies. I will build a fire. I will just document it all. You guys really want to see the real side of Peyton? Yeah. Stuck in
Yes,
an ice
please.
storm with a bunch of animals. Yeah.
It's good. I feel like it's gonna give Lion King energy. Tiger King energy. There it goes. Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Yeah,
Those are
Lion
two
King?
very
Tiger
different things.
Simba.
I was getting slightly confused, I will say, because
Not
I wouldn't go
Lion
on.
King, Tiger King.
I wouldn't go under the big cat. If you go under the big cat, you're not going to be able to breathe.
I know,
He's
this is hard.
Well, it's like a weighted blanket.
It's
It'll
a
be
weighted
calming
blanket.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
Calming.
You only
So
need that if you
nice.
have anxiety, though, don't you? Otherwise, you get anxiety because you're trapped under a giant, heavy thing that can't move and you can't breathe.
There's different shades
50-50
of mental
split.
health.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's whatever floats your boat.
I love how
baby.
we're trying to tie all this together so that it makes some semblance rather than just a giant spaghetti, whole plate of spaghetti. Yeah, so if we're not on next week, you guys know why. Weather is not cooperating.
Peyton's stuck under her cat.
and a foot of snow. Yeah.
So just so I know, you guys, so you're not really prepared to live with snow. Is that what I'm understanding?
At all. None of us have snow chains. They don't sell those down here. Snow tires are not sold down here. And they're actually calling for more ice than they are snow, which everybody knows that's twice as dangerous. They're worried that it's going to get on the power lines and knock all of the power out from the weight of the ice and the snow. And yeah, you don't drive, period, end of sentence. If you live in Georgia and there is ice, you do not drive because we're not ready.
Oh, we're chilling up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have the capabilities. Our
You're
cars aren't built
fine.
like that. None of it. We don't even have salt. I don't even know if I've ever seen salt on the roads down here.
They don't
Oh,
sell
you're
those.
cooked. You're cooked. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I don't listen. You're telling me not to leave my house for 48 hours? Done, bro. Done deal. Like, why is
That's
this?
what I
This isn't
said.
even difficult from you. I won't even change my sweats for 48 hours. We're good, bro.
I know.
will earn it.
I mean, I would like to eat. So as long as I can have something to eat, then
Oh,
Panic
don't
buy
you
them.
worry. We've all got the milk and bread sandwiches. The milk and bread sandwiches are got. Walmart is empty.
During a hurricane, a snowstorm, whatever, that's a thing. The first two things that sell out in the grocery store,
and bread.
Milk and bread. Bread
There is
makes
none
sense.
left.
Bread makes sense. Milk,
Yeah. You don't
I'm
drink milk on the
sorry.
regular, but on a natural disaster, you're gonna start drinking milk.
What's a milk and bread sandwich?
That's what we joke that you're gonna
We're being
make because that's all you buy from Walmart is milk and bread. So what are you gonna do with
just
those
like
two
that.
things?
I thought that just sounded disgusting because I thought I had this
Right.
image of you soaking bread in milk, and I'm like, and now we have soggy bread.
Ew.
I'm like, what is
No,
wrong
it's
with you people?
like, I
That's
don't
basically what they're gonna
understand.
do. Yeah.
That's what they do every time. Milk and bread is the two things they buy. Like, I don't know about y'all. I am elbow deep in my pantry with protein bars and peanut butter M&Ms and like balance, baby. We're good.
I bought a lot
Give
of
me some Little
bacon.
Debbie's. You
I
got
bought a
what?
lot of bacon.
Bacon.
Nice.
A lot
I
of
need to get some Little Debbie's and I need to get a couple more Cherry Coke Zeros and I'll be set for a 48-hour lock-in.
I knew
You
we were
make it
friends.
sound like you want to be locked in.
A vacation?
If it gets me the day off.
A winter wonderland
kinda
vacation?
do.
You know, I've only seen snow here in Georgia like 3 times my whole life.
Yeah.
That's
We don't
crazy.
see
Typically
snow.
like this much.
There's some
Yeah,
on the
and
ground
it's
right
gone.
now if you want to see.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't stick here either. So it actually sounds like it's raining right now. So I hope it's not like started.
Yeah.
We don't get snow here in Sydney at all. And the first time as an adult, anyway, I remember seeing snow. I was driving in New Zealand in a camper van, an RV, and I was so excited that I stopped the RV on the side of a mountain to get out and try and catch the snow on my tongue.
That's me.
Oh, okay. That's good. I'm not the only crazy one. But it's funny because when you come to Australia, we say that you guys don't know anything about heat. You don't know anything about snakes and spiders. Like, stop turning over the rocks. Don't swim where there are sharks. Stay between the flags. But I didn't realize the same goes in reverse for this dumb Australian when he went to work in Milwaukee during a Midwest winter, and it got really cold, properly cold. Like, you can throw boiling water and it comes down as snow. I know that because my boss made me do that. I was on my way to the gym and I didn't know about the ice thing. I'd heard about black ice, but I'd never witnessed it, never been in it. And I get out of my Uber and I stand on the pavement and I realize, hang on, not quite that. Because I got it, and when something doesn't feel right, like this doesn't. And then I realized I couldn't go anywhere because if I did take a step, I would slip on my back and I was in the middle of the street. So I didn't really know what to do. So I just stood there. As I stood there, I realized I was slowly sliding down the middle of the street without moving my feet. So here I am, too petrified to move. And you just see this guy slowly sliding down the street past the gym. I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I fall on the floor and start crawling? That would be kind of undignified, but that's okay. I want to go get a coffee. Like, can I at least slide in that direction? But the coffee house was there, and I was sliding perpendicular down Main Street. So in that situation, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Baby steps or crawl.
Like
You mean
shuffle.
the baby
Yeah,
steps
shuffle-
where you look
shuffle.
like you've got to pee?
Shuffle
Like a
little baby
penguin.
steps. But also if you know you're gonna be on like ice, like this whole weekend the parking lot where I teach Greek dance was all ice. They forgot to, I guess, de-ice, like
Salt.
to put the salt in, whatever.
Yeah.
So when I stepped out of my car, it was that same exact thing, but I was wearing like lug sole boots. Like you need like the lug sole bottoms. So
Yeah.
even like to work, because I didn't trust like how they cleared the parking lot. Yesterday I wore lug sole boots because one day I wore sneakers, and the sneakers will get you. Little baby steps, lug sole boots, and you change your shoes when you get there.
I
my,
want to tell you, I've never heard of lug sole boots, but cowboy boots don't work on ice.
No, I
That
had
was my
boots on.
first snow in New
They
York.
weren't working.
Cowboy boots.
Okay.
Shut up. My husband just heard me talk about my first snow in New York. I had the same experience as you, except we lived in Jersey. I was in cowboy boots because my job made me wear them, and
Those are
I was
slick.
holding on to my neighbor's fences and sliding myself down the street. And this guy on the porch was like, "First time in Jersey," yeah? And I'm like,
Not the
so
accent.
sorry. We're
slipping into accent
Do I
It's not
sound like
just you, bro. I think it's just anyone from like a very nice where we be staying tan. Like,
Yeah.
sucks that y'all can't tan in the middle of January when it's 73 degrees down here, but we're just used to being tan and in the sun. We're not built for frozen. We're built
look at how
for
pale I
Key
am?
West and margaritas. Like,
She's speaking for herself. I've never tanned a day in my life. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm see-through.
Well,
This is daily.
Translucent.
but I feel like
Translucent.
I'm supposed to be tan. I'm Greek.
Y'all are giving Disney princess though. Like, I feel like if y'all sang to a bird, it would sing back to you. You know?
I
Or
don't
poop
feel
on
like
you.
that. I need Amy to come give
These
me a
are
spray
cold
tan.
nuts.
Shout out my spray tan girl, Amy. She's the best.
There you go.
Shout out Amy.
Shout out
Sponsor
Amy.
us.
Love you,
all
Amy.
4 of us want spray tans right
She
now.
will. Y'all come to Rome. She's in Rome.
I
She's
don't need a
fabulous.
spray tan. I tan I never burn.
It's
I
summer
just-
for you guys, isn't it?
Brag about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I have the complexion that I can tan. I at one
I don't.
stage almost got as dark as my black friend. That's how tan, because I was a tennis coach.
Listen,
And I hated sunscreen because it always get in my eyes. And at one stage I stood next to him like, I'm almost darker than you.
living his best life. Living his best life.
I'm jealous.
Now and at some point you probably need to go get your freckles and moles checked.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
I've had skin cancer twice. I don't tan.
That's scary.
I've never had mine checked. I'm kind of scared too.
Yeah.
I've never
I feel
tried
like
to
they'll
tan.
I feel like they're just real scissor happy. They just want to start slicing and dicing. Like, this isn't Saul. This isn't, do you want to play a game? Like, no, dude. Like,
Mine's just genetic.
just look at it and tell me if I'm Gucci and let me go home.
Just make sure it's not next to a Chinese restaurant. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, because we don't need to be eating that little bit of finger food and wondering who it came from.
Boy,
right.
that'd be the most
What are those
delicious
sesame seeds
topping
made
in
out
your
of?
soup. Yeah, like,
Ooh.
this doesn't look like sesame seeds, girl. Shut up.
As I said, it's mystery meat. Don't ask where it came from. Just eat it.
Mysterious. Mysterious.
Mysterious.
Different.
I feel like
The
we're
We've
going
gone
on
on
a
a
Mustard in my
tangent.
soup. Some more.
Well, maybe you get a discount if it's BYO, right? BYO meat. You take this part of me, and okay, give it to me back. How did we get on? I was trying to wrap up.
Are
Oh
we
my God.
cannibals?
Okay.
You did. You
on
tried
that-
to wrap up 20 minutes ago.
That's my bad.
on that
That's
deep,
all.
meaningful question of are we cannibals? I think we'll hold it for there. I'll thank Morgan and Peyton for coming on, and Geanna, obviously, thank you for coming on at such short notice. I deeply apologize for the trauma. If you have any, I will refer you on to a good therapist. Other than
I
that, good luck.
apologize as well.
You apologize.
I ain't
You
sorry.
have nothing to apologize for. Haley may have something to apologize for subjecting you to us, but
Yes.
you said yes.
I didn't
so
think I
that's
was the
on
most
you.
well behaved as I could be, but it's okay.
No, it's freaking
You're
Compared
welcome
to the
anytime.
iconic. 10 out of 10. 5 stars. Highly recommend.
Thank you.
I'm going to title this the suppository episode. Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, title is Are We Cannibals? And then they gotta wait until the end to
Suppositories
find
and
out.
cannibals. I
They're
feel like
gonna
that would
watch,
make
they're
a
gonna be
really cool song. Yeah, I could turn that into a song using AI. Pageants, cannibals, and suppositories. Make me a song. All right.
Ooh.
Okay,
When
I'm
you
going
wish
to.
upon a star.
On that
Bye.
note, bye. See you.